So, what's it like being me? What is it like to know what I know? What is it like to try to share what I know with a world that both actively and passively resists this sharing? What is it like being Jesus returned to a world that is entirely wrong about Jesus? What is my great plan here? And how do I go about it? What is it exactly that I imagine is going to happen? Well, let's go from the top, shall we? So, what's it like being me? Well, sometimes I'm happy, and sometimes I'm sad. Sometimes I have aches and pains, and sometimes I feel hearty and whole. I do laugh more often than I cry, but I do cry. I am kind to myself, but maybe not as kind as I should be. I'm pretty graceful, yet fully capable of spilling my shit everywhere and swearing into the void. I'm sweet and considerate to others, but I still manage to offend them from time to time. I'm flexible but stubborn. I'm sensitive to the opinions of others, and I don't give a shit. I'm strong like you wouldn't believe. And sometimes you could knock me down with a feather. I'm generally raw and authentic, but not always. And I'm tired of the bullshit of others. My expectations of others are kind of at an all-time low, but I still hope. I've been burned. One person after another, after another, after another, has smiled to my face while saying kind and supportive things, only for me to find they were trying their best to set me on fire so they could watch and warm their hands. I don't understand. And I do. I'm more guarded than I want to be. I'm possibly not as guarded as I need to be. I'm dirt poor, and yet I'm tired of having people trying to steal from me. I'm secure enough in myself that I can say when I'm feeling insecure. And I feel insecure about all of you. I'm irritated with myself. and I love myself with a passion. I could go on, but I think you get the gist. Okay. What is it like to know what I know? Well, what I know is that we are eternally indestructible and eternally sensitive, and that we have been in one of our periodic bouts of amnesia of this for as long as we can remember, which feels like forever. This is what I know, and I understand the reasons why it should be so. I'm glad I know this as firmly as I do, and I'm tired of nobody else knowing it. What is it like to try to share what I know with a world that both actively and passively resists this sharing? It feels interminable to me. It's like trying to give food to somebody who is starving but thinks you're trying to poison them. I get it. I understand why you're all like this, but you're wasting away before my eyes, and I don't want you to. I want you to recover your strength. I want to see you strong and whole and well nourished. It will be so much nicer for me when that day comes. And I'd really like it to be within this lifetime. I encounter so many people who think that if they can make me feel worse, it will make them feel better. This is why so many try to set me on fire. And here am I, seeing so clearly that there's nothing I long for more than to see every one of you feeling good and sane. Are you really so far gone that you don't get this? Because it really is the most simplest and obvious of things. What is it like being Jesus returned to a world that is entirely wrong about Jesus? I will be happy when I never need to say that name again. I was here once before, and I'm back again. You were here once before, and you'll be back again. We were here countless times before, and we will be back countless times again. It's so fucking simple. But no, half of you guys just can't believe you can be happy until some super being shows up and fulfills a story you were told. It's not even that great a story. It's actually pretty horrible, really. If you can imagine reading it, but with all of the peer pressure taken away, I think you could see that it's really a rather horrible story. I'm returned for the same reasons that you are returned, and not one of us needs to go to hell. Just in those few words, I've told a better story than the one you see as the greatest story ever told. And mine is true. I will be happy when I never need to hear that name again. What is my great plan here? And how do I go about it? I am as much an amnesiac as all the rest of us. I have no recollection of signing up for this. My great plan is to be myself and tell the truth. It's true that I do want to do a good job of this, and I do try my best. I consult my higher self on all matters relating to this task, and more besides. And then I try as best I may to have full compassion for myself. I don't look like I've been through the things I've been through. I think the main reason for this is because I have mercy on myself. I am looking forward to seeing some of you follow in my footsteps, seeing some of you embrace truth and sanity for truth and sanity's sake. I'm looking forward to that very much. I hope there are some doing that already. Hard to tell with all of this suppression. My higher self tells me not to worry, so I try not to worry. I surrender to the moment. I do what it feels good and right to do. And I don't give myself a hard time about it. I can't do your part for you. This isn't all about me. It's about us. I encourage you to do something and have compassion for yourself while you are doing it. Have lots of compassion for yourself. And don't let people set you on fire. I encourage you to give your higher self a name and then talk to it. See what suggestions it may have. I call my higher self Sally, and she's all right. I wanted to say something a bit more impressive about her there, but she told me not to. It takes time to get that relationship up and running, if it isn't already. but I encourage you to get it up and running. I'm at that stage now where I don't know I do without my higher self. I think she's great, even if she is being modest. What is it exactly that I imagine is going to happen? Well, my goodness, I don't know. I imagine all kinds of things. I imagine us abolishing compulsory child education because it's a terrible thing to do to our children. I imagine us letting them know that they are the eternal and letting them learn what they want to learn when they want to learn it. I imagine us releasing all of our creative ideas into the public domain. I imagine us being kind and generous and not setting each other on fire. I imagine us practicing excess economy, which means giving our excess wealth to those who don't even have a home. I imagine us doing these things of our own accord, just because we want to. I imagine us wanting to. And what I imagine is just what I imagine. I've no doubt that what we could imagine together, when the very simplest truths are no longer suppressed, will far surpass my wildest imaginings. And that thought makes me smile.